It's Diwali day. Diwali is the biggest Hindu holiday equivalent to Christmas. After a quarter of a century, I began to somewhat observe Diwali. By that I mean I just put on a new cloth that somebody brought in, because it's customary for all people who celebrate Diwali to wear new clothes on that day. It's not the big deal. The biggest deal is just you want to recall the context or the mythology around the celebration of Diwali. According to the Diwali mythology, it is the day that Krishna, the high god of the Hindus, killed a demon called Narakasura. Narakasura, the name itself, is significant because it reminds of the human conditioning. Naraka or Nara is one pertaining to the earth plane. And he was also the son of the mother goddess, the earth goddess. And he is also the son of the boar avatar of Vishnu. There is another version of it, but according to the mainline tradition, Narakasura, the demon, was born out of the boar avatar of Vishnu. And he was born between the boar and the mother goddess Lakshmi. And according to another version, he was the son of Hiranya. So the story is very significant. So the symbolism behind is about the earth plane. And the origin of the demon is also out of the earth. The boar, it digs the earth, and the story also, the boar went deep into the earth in order to rescue the mother goddess Lakshmi, or the earth goddess Lakshmi, who was kidnapped by a demon, and the demon was associated with gold. So when you try to make sense of this mythology behind this, it's all about human conditioning, human life. And the life of this demon is similar to the life of the human beings. And the demon was so greedy, and he wanted heaven and earth to come under his control. And then he was so ruthless in getting wealth from other people and women and so forth. And he was leading a very inappropriate life at the expense of other people, just to satisfy his own senses and greed. And this is exactly the condition of the human beings today. So the story goes that the regime of this guy went for Narakasura went for some time, and Vishnu, his own father, incarnated as Krishna and killed him. And as he was killed, he had a request that his death should be celebrated by everyone on the earth plane. So Diwali is the day when we remember the death of Narakasura. So what it means is, here the greed has come to an end. And by who? By a person who was his own father. Vishnu, but reincarnated as Krishna. So Diwali really means the death of a greedy person who was immoral in every sense of the term, and that came to an end. And I wanted to do this video because it seems very appropriate to what is going on in the world today. Greed has gone out of control, and God has to check the greed and then stop it. And I just recall the mythology of Narakasura on this day where we are facing situation of greed being controlled by contemporary happenings, whether it is the unrest in the Middle East and the dictators losing ground or being killed. All this is a good sign of a golden age that is going to come. And I have no doubt in my mind the golden age is starting as of now. Is the world can anyway live without money? No, it cannot. So we have to have some kind of an economic system that has to go. Otherwise, things on this earth plane will not work. We cannot go to the barter system which we had before. And in the beginning of our civilization, before we developed the current economic system with money and coins and currency and so forth. So the other alternative is just the barter system. So that's not a possibility for us to go back into the barter system. And I think the way it's going to be resolved is that we should have a proper relationship with money. We cannot just dump money and hate money and live without money. That's not going to work. Money will always be there in some form or the other. So dumping it or hating it is not going to be a choice, and it will never happen. So what needs to happen is a proper relationship with money. A proper relationship with money is that human beings should develop compassion to share the money between themselves, and that's very important. And then not have greed. And that is what I want to recall on this day of Diwali, that greed will destroy. The person who is greedy and also the environment in which he is living, and also it is destroying other people also. So greed has to go. And greed is an outcome of ignorance. Only an ignorant person will be greedy. An intelligent person will never be greedy. So greed goes with ignorance hand in hand. So when ignorance is put to an end, then the greed will also go away. So that has to happen. And that will happen in many ways. And one way that has started to happen is trouble for all the people who have more money than they really need. But then the learning has to occur on both sides, the people who are revolting against and also the people who are rich and the politicians, they all have to come together and then find a solution. There will also be some external factors that will expedite the process, and that factor is natural calamities everywhere, where people won't be able to handle those calamities, and then will be forced to turn to God and ask for a solution. At that level, then we will see a solution emerging. Because people will know that they are unable by themselves to solve the problem. So who has to solve the problem? God. Then there will be ethics, then there will be morality. I am happy to do this little video clip for you, because this gives you an idea of what is going to happen to the world and how we will transition from the money-based, greed-based, materialistic paradigm to a spiritual paradigm.